colors how to know what I'm doing. Hello. You make a countdown?
We are live, I think.
Liz.
Are we?
Yeah, we are live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again in IMMERSIVE X 2025 festival. That's we are now all in VR chat, and we're about to join a special experience. It's called Urban Tragedy 2050. What does it mean? It means we're gonna in a time machine that will take us to 2050, and we're gonna see a simulation of a catastrophe that could happen in a city, and we're going to tell you more about that in that world. I would like to mention to all of you that this is only PCVR or VR PC world, and if there's anyone here with mobile Quest without PCVR, we're going to stream that event on the screen over there, so you could stay and watch that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the portal to take us to this world, and I'm going to jump there together. And I will open the portal right now. And you're welcome to join me on this expedition. So let's do it over here. Urban Tragedy. That's it.
Right if you find work.
There we go.
So many astronauts here. Oh my God.
Theo, you going? Rizu, are you going?
Use the portal? How do I use the portal?
If you see an X before the portal, you cannot join because you're on Quest. Only PCVR can join it. So we stream it at the big screen there.
Okay, at the big screen up front.
Yeah.
If you come up here.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
It's not that easy with finger tracking, but it's working. Almost.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Clone astronaut avatar, you're welcome to Clone. We're going on a dangerous mission to
Vessel.
feel safe.
Helicopter 2050.
Igor,
Shushu is not joking.
Vessel data.
This time, he
Transportation
tells
in
the
time.
truth.
Smooth hovering.
It's a
Urban
dangerous
data
mission.
detection system. Computer generated speech system.
Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that.
but I guess you're doing this.
Amazing. So I think we're here. We've got Carlos.
So if you don't know how to clone an avatar, you open the VR chat menu on your left hand, and on your right hand you point with your trigger on the other avatar that has this suit, and you click on it with the trigger like one should, and then you have their clone avatar somewhere.
Helicopter 2050.
Except for the alien, we only need one.
Transportation.
Yeah, alien can stay. Yeah, alien actually
detection system.
created.
Computer generated speech system.
We don't need these primitive spacesuits.
Yeah.
Damn humans.
So,
all right, guys.
Shall we start? Carlos, are you all set? And John?
Not yet. We're still setting up.
Okay, just give me a signal whenever you are good to go.
Oh, it's becoming very interesting. Okay, Igor is now also an astronaut. Thank you, Igor.
I feel like we don't have names. We're going to have numbers, aren't we? The astronaut 22.
So guys, keep please your positions inside this drone. Do not try to somehow jump outside because it's really dangerous outside. We're gonna stay together and look at what's going on here.
Let's go.
You go? You ready, Carlos?
Okay. You're all set. Let's start. First,
The simulation program has been activated.
I would ask you to please close your eyes for a moment.
Vessel.
Imagine
Helicopter 2050.
you're a student, curious, driven, looking
Vessel
for a
data.
career.
Transportation in time.
Imagine that you are
Smooth
interested in taking
Urban
on a
data
job
detection system.
at one of the world's
Computer-generated
leading
speech system.
professional service firms, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Now imagine you have been invited to the headquarters in Düsseldorf, Germany. You are one of just 30 selected candidates chosen to take part in an exclusive event called Next Gen Solvers. You drive to Düsseldorf, you enter a huge skyscraper, and at the reception desk, you are told to take the elevator to the 23rd floor. And when you enter it, it's a dimly lit conference room. And in front of you, there's a VR headset. And you are asked to put it on. And now please open your eyes again. Now you are that student. And your journey begins here in that vessel. It's a mission to save the city of Rotterdam. And with that, I hand it over to the captain of the helicopter for instructions.
Yes. Thank you. So,
Data processing.
I'm gonna show you guys the area where we all should place
The simulation
our
program
avatars,
has been
where we all
activated.
should stand, so we have a better view, and we also are more protected from the
Vessel.
dangerous environment. because we are
Helicopter
going in a
2050.
very catastrophic area. And this line here, this
Vessel data.
where I walk here,
Transportation in time.
that would
Smooth
be more or
hovering.
less
Urban data
correct.
detection system.
And
Computer-generated speech system.
Beginning of the arrow, that would be the front. So in between that space, you can set in a row. So we can all come on, yeah, over here instead of yeah. Just stand in a curved row. So make sure every one of you.
Not in front of the
has
floating
good
camera.
view. Behind me, there's gonna be the front view, all right? And not in front of the camera. You mean it's okay where I stand?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah. Okay, so we can stand until here, all right? From this side, from this bridge until this bridge. So let's just go ahead. Make sure that you don't hide the view, but everybody has a view. And the arrow here on the floor is going to move in different directions. It shows us in which direction we have to look, and we follow that arrow. Okay? And that is to avoid motion sickness. So we are ready to start. A few minutes animation, like about 8 minutes, and I wish you good luck. And I'm ready to start the experience. Thomas, are you ready?
Data processing.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
When you are.
Okay. We're going to go on a time machine.
The simulation
that will take us
program
to
has been activated.
2050 in Rotterdam City.
Vessel.
As you know, Rotterdam
Helicopter
is full of
2050.
canals and water, and this is a simulation of what could possibly happen.
Vessel data. Transportation in time. Smooth hovering.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the Helicopter, an interdimensional time travel simulator. This is the captain speaking. I will be guiding you through your journey into the future. The Helicopter is an advanced multifunctional quadcopter vessel equipped with high-powered engines, smooth hovering rotors, and an automated operating software with a computer-generated speech system. The machine is designed to perform a time transportation to any destination and time through the entire planet Earth within seconds.
Preparing system for transportation in time. Destination, Rotterdam, the Netherlands, Europe, planet Earth.
You may now take your positions as we are about to embark on a virtual journey to the year 2050.
Make sure your
Initializing
volume is at a
interdimensional
decent
velocity
level,
program.
because the sound is important here.
Entering high capacity. Performing countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time transportation. Launching. Destination confirmed. Time teleportation completed. Location, Rotterdam Centrum, the Netherlands, Europe. Planet Earth.
This is Rotterdam in the year 2050. A gloomy reminiscence of a European metropolis which used to shine in all its splendor. In recent years, the city has undergone dramatic changes. Rising sea levels, storm surges, and extreme weather events have left much of the city submerged in water.
That's it. We go over here.
Throughout its long history, Rotterdam has faced great challenges. Unpredicted future conditions have caught the urban infrastructure unprepared. The city has become almost completely uninhabitable.
Number of citizens in target space? None.
Today, we debate about what measures could have been taken back in the past in order to avoid similar consequences.
Number of citizens in target space? None. Program deactivated.
You're going to jump into that portal now.
Everyone wants to head into the portal back to Area X.
We just experienced, here's the story. And the story started last year, back in January, when me and my team at VM People received a briefing. I don't know whether you all know, besides organizing this festival, IMMERSIVE X, I have a second life. There I'm CEO of VRium People, which is basically a marketing firm dealing with immersive storytelling. And last year in January, PwC Germany approached us, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they came up to us with a strange briefing. They said, "Hey, we got a new employer brand, the Community of Solvers." You know, PwC, big firm, wants to be a community. And can you develop a flagship event to launch this new employer brand? And what they came up with was, we want to take 30 students with a bus from Düsseldorf to some city in Europe. That was the briefing. So imagine you would now have to advertise this. And we said, I don't know whether it would resonate with your audience. First, we need a story.
Yeah.
And that's why we said, how about if you are serious with your employer brand, and employer brand had the values of diversity, sustainability, digital transformation, why not letting people experience your new brand? And instead of talking about it, let them send on a mission, on a time travel mission, so that they have to somehow save the future in a way. Send them on a mission. So that was the idea. And then the next thought was, how can we somehow involve them emotionally, immerse them in that story? And because I have a first life where I know those two guys, the extraterrestrial and the magician, we thought, why not doing a immersive virtual experience and really let them have the impression that they really go on a time travel mission. And that was how this all started, what you have just seen. So that was the first thing, as I told you in my introduction, when people arrived in Düsseldorf, they had no idea what was going to happen. And like a little bit in the three-body problem, they discovered a headset and they experienced this time travel together. So as far to give you a little background, but what we want to talk about right now, and this is why I have Shushu and Nico here, we experienced quite a journey. And the first thing, and I would hand it over to you, we talk a little bit about the development of the project, how it felt for you to have, like, I don't know, I don't want to exaggerate, but in the end, it was like 10 weeks to develop that whole production. And then I really hand it over to you. Let me say one more thing. I know that it was June and the event was supposed to happen in the beginning of September. And in June, I was talking to you, and I had sent some signals. You say, I'm very busy, and I knew that I wanted to go on a holiday, and I didn't know. I had no feedback from you if you wanted to take the project. Because you were really struggling hard whether you would be able to manage this huge production, and you should tell now the story. But in the end, you said, we'll do it, and it was the happiest day in my life. Because otherwise, I don't know what we have done without you assigning to this project. Shushu, you received a very rough briefing, and Nico, from our side, and then how did you go? How did you start your production journey?
I think like the first thing I remember was the decision. Okay, this is not a lot of time. It's a really complicated project, and the first thing we had to decide, like, do we make it Quest compatible? Like,
Nico.
Still there?
Yeah, I almost died here. Yeah, okay, I'm back. So like the first decision was the hardware, and we usually do the words Quest compatible, and I think it would have been easier to do it to do that event on Quest devices, standalone devices. But when we actually like thought about it, like having this big city with like all these buildings and all these effects we want to do, we tested it like is it even possible to do it on a standalone, and I think my frame rate was like under like 1. It was so low, like the device basically crashed. So and then we actually had to decide, okay, we can have to do it on a PC. For this case, and we got all these PCs like for the students on the scene there, and it worked. Like it worked. It was the first thing we decided, and then
let me just jump in here for a little moment, because we had to agree on this, but that meant that we had to rent 30 gaming PCs, 30 headsets, bring them to Düsseldorf and then to Rotterdam, because what we didn't see, there was a second episode of that experience, which we didn't show you today. So it was a huge Materialschlacht, as we say in German. It was a material production battle, but in the end, Shushu and Nico were right to really decide this. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have even started.
Like it was already hard to do in that time frame, and like we worked on all this time, like really hard on it, and we just got it in time, like last minute. So it was like the right decision to do it that way. Making it also Quest compatible would have meant that the quality is much lower, and it probably would have taken a lot more time.
What I remember, and Shushu, and I hand it over to you, what was a big issue was modeling the city to find assets maybe that we can use. But yeah, can you tell a little bit about...
I will go to that, but before that, I would like to refer to your introduction. So first of all, you mentioned 10 weeks. 10 weeks in my Nico time is approximately 25, 30 weeks in a normal human being time. We work 16, 17, 18 hours a day. So it's not about 7 weeks or 5 weeks. It's about an intense work where you have to start from scratch without any script for the animation, that it actually been treated like a cinematic 3D Hollywood animation. You have to start with a script. You have to know the amount of assets that you have to do. You have to know the time. You have to have the voiceover to record it, to create a short dramaturgical structure that will be emotional enough and not too boring, and will include all the scientific information that you also have to study during that time. And just like VM people got a brief from PwC, we got a brief from VM people, and we just said, yeah, but you need a story. and then the first mission, and then we talk with Nico about it, and Nico says, yeah, but I need to know what to do. I need a story. And then I understand, okay, so we need to write a cinematic animation script. It's also something that would take you at least 5 days of that time. Intense 5 days. So we did that script, and then when I was writing that script, I think, oh my God, we need a whole city here. Who's going to model that? we need a drone. We need so much music. We know so many sound effects and all that. Who's going to do that? And I said, yeah, we're going to do that. Just write a good script. Okay. And then starts the issue with the city. So you make a big research. Maybe the city of Rotterdam has the city. We got the model from them. yeah, that's not so accurate. Okay, so we search for other models, and then we get from the best stocks ever. We get the model. When you open it in Blender or in any other software, you understand you have a huge amount of work to do, and there are missing buildings. I think about 20 buildings I had to model on my own based on Google images from all sides that I did screenshot and did that. That was a massive thing to do, and to bring all of that into one emotional and dramatic experience was a big challenge. And a lot of that was working beautifully, mainly thanks to Nico's work with the lighting, with the shaders, and with all that. It made it look so fantastic with the thunders, and we were so exciting. Each time we uploaded it and we went to see it, we stood there and said, "Oh my God, look at that! Oh my God, all that city!" We were amazed. We started with 9.5 million polygons of a model. That's not something you can upload in a social platform. We did a small test with Quest
on PC. Sure. Yeah, on PC we can, but on Quest, it didn't work.
You just usually when you have too many polygons in VR, when for Quest you start glitching and then something happens. No, this time you just put the headsets and you crash. You don't exist anymore. You just can't handle that. And the challenge was to take all that 9.5 million and reduce it to less than 1 million. And that was a lot of work to do. And lately I made Omega Order in the computer. I saw that project. I said, "Oh my God, this was a big thing." But it was a very, very, very exciting thing. And when you go there and you stand there and you feel the sounds and the lights and everything, it makes you feel that you did something special.
As you said, it's really cinematic, and maybe we can also bring the audience here here right now and ask you how you experienced it. But this is the best term, and I really, when in that sense, you are right. When we handed over the story from our side, I didn't imagine like a cinematographic experience, but I should have known if I talked to Shushu and Nico.
Mohawk's gonna
I really had to say, no, we don't need 25 buildings. Like, why not doing only 8? We don't have time.
No, we don't. You have to understand. We don't know how to make it worse than we can. That's it. And you have to remember that there were other chapters in this animation, in the simulation for the students, that they actually got a real task, There were 2 days. So they got one part and they had to analyze it and sit together in group and come up with ideas how to improve the conditions for the city. And that was the educational value of it.
It's important that you mention this. So that was only the prologue for the actual event. Somehow, our idea to draw them into the story, and then they really went to Rotterdam. And as Shushu just said, they visited projects like, for example, a floating farm, sustainability. Also, the Captain AI. A company that is working with to have all the ships navigated with artificial intelligence through the harbor of Rotterdam, the port of Rotterdam. So the lighthouse projects, and they had workshops and meetings to really work on the future of Rotterdam. So that was the idea. And we had a lot of meetings with people.
We felt actually very privileged to take part in this project because of its educational value. There's something that VM people and IMMERSIVE X are doing is very extraordinary. It's not only about gaming and having fun in VR. It's about bringing something new to the world, making a change, whether it's an educational program like Urban Tragedy and others, or whether it's this festival, which is about, exploring who we are and what is our role, what is our future in VR, and what do we want to achieve, and creating some networking. That's a beautiful thing. So we're always thankful for what you're doing, and it's a great pleasure to collaborate with you.
it was a memorable journey, the event, but also the process of working on this. I learned a lot from the two of you, what is needed for a good briefing, for example. And really, we had, as I said, discussions how to even realize this in that short time. But we are very, very happy with in the end. So, but why not asking you, do you have any questions in regard to the process of development or the project? Please raise your hand or send Onyx.
Sorry, it's me again. I cannot tell you how many times. I cannot tell you enough how much I like your work, both of your works. The biggest reason why you won my respect is, despite all this, the lack of adoption of the VR headset, despite all this financial pressures and everything, you guys are still chasing your passion and try to educate the world, share your love to the world, share your love of the world to the world. That is very honorable. I cannot thank you guys enough. And the thing that the effort that you put in this project is also very astonishing. So could you please tell us a little bit about the research that you did, and how did you guys decide to visualize it as is, and also how did you design the spaceship? It looks really cool. Thank you.
The first thing you check, thank you for your kind words. The first thing you have to check is, what is the actual water level in Rotterdam, and what are the predictions for 2050, how high it could get? Is it about half a meter higher, or is it 7 meters higher? And you have to get familiar with all the scientific, the most important scientific analytic and essays about it. Some say it's going to be like 57 centimeters, some say it's going to be more than that, but it doesn't really matter how high it is, because you understand that most of that city has basements, and they have a lot of infrastructure placed in those basements. And when it covers the basement and fills it with water, that's a big tragedy for the city. The other thing you understand is that,
that is special about Rotterdam, that the city center is below sea level, even nowadays. Yes. So this would be the first city in Europe that would be totally gone if there's a rise of sea levels. That's important to understand.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, and of course, what kind of weather could be, how does it look like, what kind of storm, and of course, many technical cities, where are buildings located, how can you turn, what is the current situation of the bridge, is it working, what happens with the water cut, do they open it, do they just leave it closed, how can it look like? So it's all about imagining what you want to achieve, and then making sure that it's more or less accurate.
Yeah. In the end, I think this is something we can tell. We decided to dramatize it a little bit, and to invent the extreme weather condition that would lead to a flood like this. So if you see the predictions,
and it's not completely impossible, right? Like if it's a storm surge,
sure.
It's a bit pessimistic scenario, but that was the point of it.
Yeah, but what we just revealed was our discussion. So we first what would be the level if we take the prognosis, and then we said, well, maybe there are these extreme weather conditions. But this is the process, the creative process that led to what you have just seen.
Other things were more about logistics, technical and logistics. So, for example, how do you actually rotate in the animation without causing motion sickness for people who come to VR in the first time? You know, most of them would just get motion sickness. So we had to invent some system that actually forces you to rotate, so your brain gets all the information it needs from the environment and place it on. And otherwise, if we wouldn't do that and it would just rotate, I don't think many people would have survived there. And the other thing is how VM people are going to drive there to Rotterdam with 30 headsets and make 30 VR chat accounts and put them all together at the same time.
That was something that was on our end then a little bit tricky, as you can imagine, and took really some effort with 5 people being busy for really 2 days in setting this up. But any more questions or remarks? Katie Phoenix.
I've read some similar projections about New York. And in New York, you've got the subway system, and you've got below the subway system, you've got other infrastructure kinds of things. And they already have a seawall. And so you can imagine when it overtops the seawall, which it has done, and then it completely undercuts all the electrical, all the water flow, all of that stuff, all of the subways. And it becomes totally unlivable. And I want to say that the impact of what you did was incredible. And I felt such sadness. I felt such urgency. Why don't we do something now? Because that's our future. If we don't, it may still be our future if we don't do anything now. We may be past the tipping point with the glaciers, etc. And so I appreciate the emotional impact of the film.
That's the idea. I mean, look at the value or the educational value of the VR simulation. You can do that only in VR. I mean, you can show it in pictures, you can talk about, but when you combine it with some emotional experience, it makes people think and want to act. And you're talking about all those basements and infrastructures. When I was modeling the city, I noticed there's some huge area with a cemetery. And I thought, oh my God, are we going to make a close-up of the cemetery? But then I felt, no, that's going to be too catastrophic. I mean, imagine all that water in the cemetery and what happens then. You don't want to show that.
Right.
All right.
Thank God you didn't show it. Otherwise, it will be the most depressing day of my life.
That's good for Halloween.
Maybe next IMMERSIVE X event.
Right.
If you want to make it even more depressing, make the next episode about New York.
I wouldn't say it's depressing. I think it's actually optimistic because it gives you a better. There is an ending there that tells you that there are things we can do about it for a better future, and that's the optimistic vibe about it. Especially the second part when the student actually had the task, to come up with ideas, and then there was a simulation of how this world become a better place.
Can we make the U.S. Congress watch it?
Yes. Yes.
So if you somehow manage to get us an invitation, I would take 30, 50 gaming laptops and and headsets to the US and get them under the headset.
We have to persuade them about Earth is not flat first.
That's another world that you have to see. Nico's world is a flat Earth. Actually, it's a very interesting.
I think it's very smart platforming cities in this, because cities are like organisms that are alive in a way. Like they require fertile soil, fresh air, clean water, and they grow and they shrink based on having that at their disposal. Like losing Rotterdam is like losing a person in a sense. Like it's a collective, it's a group. And if anyone's following the news lately, we're losing another city in real time right now. y'all should hear about what's going on with Tehran. Like within the next month, they're saying they're going to run out of water, which means that we need to figure out how to evacuate 15 million people. And
oh my God!
You also talk about, you also set this in 2050, which means they're saying other mega cities will have the same problem within the next 25 years, and 380 million people will need to be evacuated. And I think talking to our cities, which can be, I believe, the people that can actually have skin in the game, in a sense, I think is very important.
You're right.
Thank you for sharing this.
There's something like about all the decision makers, the big politicians, and all that. They have the resources to solve these problems, but when you say just facts, number of people, they don't feel anything. Maybe it's actually the right way to show them some kind of an emotional story. When they start feeling it, then they think, oh yeah, we should do something about it, Although I'm not 100% sure about it. I mean, you had like in the US, in LA, like all those floods and big tragedies, and people lost their homes. You saw it in real life, and still it's happening. So I think it's the nature of a human being. They tend to forget.
Yeah.
So I think it's.
But at least the event itself with the students was PwC. We felt that we make a change, that it affects the impact on those students, who start their life and their career was so huge that that's the moment when you think all that work, everything we made makes sense.
I think we received maybe we received the evaluation for the whole event and also for the VR experience. That's a big company. Everything is evaluated. The money is spent right. And they received really positive feedback on the whole event, but especially also for the VR experience, what was really important for us to hear after all that effort we put in. Yeah. All right, guys. 10 minutes is we'll start our last session for today here in Area X. A little bit more uplifting now after this dystopian vision of our future, which we still can work on. Important notion. But please stay here for one more session about creating instruments, XR instrument by Lawrence Schroeder. And for those who have to leave, see you all tomorrow.
Could we get a photo before then?
Yeah,
sure. Well,
yeah.
Shall we all position ourselves here?
Come over here, everyone. Come over here, everyone. Yeah, come over here too. So we like the expedition of urban tragedy and IMMERSIVE X. And thank you, everyone, for joining this event. It was a pleasure to host you. And thank you, Carlos and Joan, for filming us. And
thank you, Shushu and Nico, for this great journey.
Yeah, thank you.
Carlos.
Yeah, thank you.
3, 2, 1. You.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stop stream.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I blinked.
Do it again.
Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you, Shushu and Nico. Come here, my dear.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Shoo.
And we jump over the
No, they
Shoo, you're a wonderful
were
person,
great.
you know.
suicide wall.
Great.
Really? Why do you think so?
Because you have so much heart in the way you speak.
Hi, excuse me.
Yeah, I wanted to see it
So,
go up into the clouds.
I'm
Thank you.